And that tornado was in western Michigan. Mother Nature again showing her fury to the Midwest of the country. The severe thunderstorm packing winds, estimated at more than 80 miles per hour, spawned a tornado injuring at least 6 people and also damaging several homes. But Michigan wasn't alone. Storms with tornadoes damaged homes in Iowa as well, according to the National Weather Service. And to hear about this story, pretty unbelievable here. Take a look at this little girl. She was abandoned Monday at a Manhattan subway station.
It's something, really, really sad. I feel so sad.
About sums it up. New York City police said a woman pushed the 6 to 7 month old in her stroller off the train into the Columbus Circle station and then got back on the train. The child has no signs of injury. And also, this just in, the woman has now been found and arrested, according to police. Also in New York City, more police are starting to hit the streets. More than 300 additional officers will be leaving their desk jobs to start patrolling cities, or neighborhoods rather, with high crime. The aggressive initiative is dubbed Operation Summer All Out. Officials stress the spike in shootings are not an indication that crime is out of control in the Big Apple. Now, it's a legal battle being talked about in Washington State here. I'm sorry, it's legal and happening now in Washington State. Today, select retail stores are opening their doors so they can sell legal marijuana.
We definitely are anticipating that it probably will run out the first day.
Officials gave 12 stores early notice in order to stock the shelves so they could open before their grand opening. It's expected that over 300 stores will eventually open across Washington State. Now, as for technology, this device can help the blind. This ring-sized device here lets your finger do the reading. While there are other character readers on the market, the finger reader is unique because it's mobile and it connects with a laptop or mobile phone. MIT has spent 3 years working on the software, trying out different designs. Right now, the finger reader is just a prototype, but if produced, it could help more than 11 million visually impaired Americans. JD, earlier here on America's World, we talked about that bionic pancreas connected to the iPhone. Excuse me, you see the commercials now on how iPhones are being used with exercise. Fascinating technology here.
There is so much going on. I'm captivated by this finger reader. Of course, I wonder too, it first struck me when my grandmother or teachers would do the thumb lick to turn the page. But I guess so many people, for those who are visually impaired, all kidding aside and youthful observations, this notion of being able just to pass one's finger and have something read, it's got to tip your cap to the engineers and designers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
Yeah, you think about Braille and that technology and how that's helped visually impaired folks be able to read. And to watch somebody read with their finger in Braille is really an amazing experience on video or otherwise. But that's a great story. Another interesting story, JD, we're going to talk about during this particular segment, and everybody's talking about this one around the country here, at least baseball fans are. A New York Yankees fan, I should clarify, is suing for $10 million because of an avalanche quote of disparaging words from broadcasters during a televised game. 26-year-old Andrew Rector was in the April 13th Yankees-Red Sox game in the stands when he was caught on camera sleeping during the 4th inning of the game, and here is what the broadcasters were saying.
The #1 live streaming sports service celebrating 12 years. This guy's oblivious to how good it is.
Sometimes you have to turn it off, get some sleep. It's not the place you come to sleep. I tell you what, though, how comfortable is that? Probably won't have any neck problems tomorrow.
I mean, is that guy to his left his buddy who's just letting him sleep, or is he here alone? What's the deal with this guy?
Maybe that's his buddy, and he likes him a lot better when he's asleep.
All right, so top of the 4th inning here in that game. This is the time when broadcasters are usually kind of stretching for something to say here. In this particular case, ESPN announcers John Kruk and Dan Schulman were accused of alleged defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The lawsuit was filed against those two announcers, the Yankees, ESPN, and Major League Baseball. In the filing, MLB.com continued the onslaught to a point of comparing the plaintiff to someone of a confused state of mind, disgusted, disgruntled, and unintelligent, and probably intellectually bankrupt individual. Wow.
Ooh. Our litigious age, when lawyers attack different parties. Look, the guy's a private citizen. And as we know, when you're a public official, boy, people can pretty much say anything they want to about you. It is interesting that John Kruk was offering commentary, because in terms of offering self-deprecation about his own physical condition. The story is when Crook was in the major leagues, he was coming through the airport one day with his other teammates. I'm not sure if he was with the Padres or the Phillies at that point in time. And a woman stops him and says, you ought to look better. You're an athlete. And he goes, no, ma'am, I'm a ball player. And John, kind of portly, kind of unkempt. But look, I think it's going to be tough to prove malice aforethought in this situation.
You mentioned he's a private citizen, but he's in a public forum, and there's no expectation of privacy there. And I didn't hear anything in the comments that was overly mean or aggressive per se. And if you're going to fall asleep, you're going to pay money for those seats. You got to be prepared to face the onslaught of criticism from the announcer. And if folks at home actually heard what some of the camera guys and the directors say over that closed audio feed, wow.
Of course, that never happens here on America's Forum because we're not the media. We're Newsmax, and we have. Do we have choir boys in the control room? Oh, yeah,
altar boys, choir boys, the whole contingency.
Well, at any rate, we'll see what happens with that lawsuit. Do you have comments on our litigious age? And should the sleepy fan make some money? Why don't you tweet us your remarks at Newsmax TV, #America's Forum. There's also email and Facebook. We'll face you again in just a couple of minutes.